Let's compare my old 2019 Focus Jam2 and 2023 Canyon Neuron on 7, I think. So now I still have both. This has Shimano E8000 engine. This has EP8. This has RockShox, both front and rear, 150 millimeters. This has Fox. I really wanted this Fox, 130. This is 29. This is 27.5 max tires. This has been quite good. This has quite a small battery, 378 watt hours. This has 600. And this is inside this frame. You cannot get it out without removing the motor. Here you have lock on the other side and you get this bottom part out. You can take it with you and charge it off the bike. This has Makura brakes. This has Shimano brakes. Much better brakes on the new one. The suspension is longer here, but it's still much faster and better on the new one. Because the Fox is just, it's very sensitive and sort of control, very good control. And the displays, the old one is actually color. The old one has color display. This has always been like you have to press the button, I think twice or long. I don't know why. This has color when you press the button here. And you can see how much is using here. The new one. It's doing some flickering. It's not doing it now, but it's just showing. But this has better switch here, but no colors and no like what's the power. This also has charging point here, which the other one doesn't have. Also the charging port is here, this kind of manual plug. This has much better the old one. It has magnetic plug here, it's very fast. Also the charger is 4.5 amps. That has only 1.8 amps, so it takes a lot longer to charge also, because that has double almost the battery. Both bikes I have changed the front sprocket bigger. I think this is 38 or something and it was 36 to get like, because otherwise you run too much on the lowest gog and you wear out these. This gives much better. Also when I changed the chain one time for this, I bought this kind of cheaper. This is much smaller. So the ratios are, you can use more of those ratios. I was planning to do the same for this straight away, but I realized that when I changed the front sprocket to bigger, 36, I think this was 34. This has bigger tires, 29s, so the gearing, the slowest gear is actually good now. It's about the same as that one, about 6 kilometers per hour at sort of walking speed at the lowest gear. What is annoying about this new one, it is this bottle gauge. this is so tight that you cannot keep like your bottle here. It's very hard to reach, and there's that lever. So now I have this here. The old one is much better. It has a lot of room. Actually, this rail is for this kind of battery extension pack, sort of tech package. You can double the, but this kind of shock is better for that. You get better room for the frame. But other than that, the only problems with this old one has been it's quite short range, like 40 kilometers on sand roads, and on soft sand roads, if you use boost, it's like 25 kilometers. Now that the battery is a little bit worn out. This one you can run 30 kilometers with one bar gone. So it's very, I haven't even tested how long it would take to run it dry. The old one is like 24 or 25 kilograms. This new one is like 22, but you don't notice it much. I don't have tubeless setup on these. I have tubes in both and spare tube on both with me. The engine, I think the engine control for wheelies and such is better on this old one. The new one is sort of very aggressive and it makes you wheelie over quite easily. So I sort of don't like it, but this is much more efficient engine and sort of better for energy. The old one has this kind of long, older style saddle. This is not very good. The new one has this kind of shorter with relief on the center. This is much better from the factory. I have the pump now on the handlebar because there is not sort of good way to mount it there. The old one I had always the pump here beside the bottle. These are still the original tires, 3500 driven. The rear one is quite chewed up, but I only had one flat, even if I run like very hard gravel roads all the time. The old one I had the seat post here and power here. But I don't like this one, it's quite heavy. And the new one has much better this power button, much lighter here, on off, and the saddle lever here. This is much better. I changed the light to this new bike already. I had it on that bike and I had it cabled inside the frame to this engine, so it came out automatically. I don't have the wiring yet on that bike. But like on trail, narrow one track, this is much faster. When that goes like fast, it becomes a little bit like unsettled. It's not so controllable. I didn't even notice before I drove the new one on the same track. But you can like keep higher speed and it doesn't feel like you're about to lose control. And it's all about this Fox suspension, which is great. So that was it. The new and the old. Bye.